Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and doing well. Myself Shweta Mali from Green Valley English School is here to teach you about ecosystem. We are surrounded by so many things including various plants, animals, water, air, soil, sky, clouds, etc. All that surrounds and affects the life of an organism, that is plant and animal, is called environment. What is environment? All that surrounds and affects the life of an organism, that is plants or animals, is called an environment. Okay, and it includes three factors of or components, that is abiotic, biotic and cultural factors. So what are the factors of environment? First of all, I told you that what is environment? All that surrounds and affects the life of an organism, that is plants or animals, is called as environment, and it includes three factors or components, that are abiotic, biotic and cultural factors. What are those? Biotic factors, abiotic factors and cultural factors. So, as I told you that there are three factors which influence the environment, that is biotic or living factors. Example is plants, animals and other factors. Abiotic or non-living factors, that is light, water, air, soil and temperature. And the third one is cultural factors. Any human activities that influences and affects the environment. Okay? A unit where there is an interaction between the living organism and their surroundings, abiotic environment, and there is an exchange of material between the two, is called as ecosystem. So what is ecosystem? A unit where there is an interaction between the living organism and their surrounding, abiotic environment, and there is exchange of material between the two, is called an ecosystem. Okay, what I told you till now? I told you that when we look around us, we find different types of animals, plants and animals. Okay, they all live in different places in different kinds of conditions. Everything that surrounds and affects the life of an organism is called as environment. A living organism lives in close interaction with an environment, and as I told you that environment includes three important factors or components, that are biotic, abiotic and cultural factors. Biotic factors include living factors like plants, animals and other life forms. Abiotic components include. So, as I told you that now what is an ecosystem? The interaction between living organism and their environment is called as ecosystem. The interaction between the living organism and their environment is called as ecosystem, and we can also say that ecosystem is a unit in which different living organisms interact with their physical environment. Okay, the word ecosystem is derived from the Greek word oikos. It is derived from the Greek word oikos. It is derived from the Greek word oikos, and it means a house. What this word means? It means a house. Okay? And when I talk about the term ecosystem, it was coined by Sir Arthur Tansley in 1935. When it was coined, the term ecosystem was coined by Sir Arthur Tansley in 1935. Okay? So, hence an ecosystem is defined as a dynamic system in which the living organism interact with themselves and with their physical environment, influencing the properties of each other. An ecosystem is self-sustaining and self-regulating structural and functional unit of biosphere. What is ecosystem? Ecosystem is a self-sustaining and self-regulating structural and functional unit of biosphere. Communities and physical environment constitute the structural component of an ecosystem, and their continuous interactions results in its functioning. And as I told you that the term ecosystem was given by Sir Arthur Tansley in 1935. An ecosystem can be restricted to a small area like a single lodge or a garden, or a huge area like miles of forest, an edge of a pond or village, a river, a lake, or various ecosystems. An ecosystem is an open system and depends upon solar energy from outside as its energy source. Okay? What I told, an ecosystem is an open system and it depends upon the solar energy from outside as its energy source. An ecosystem has two components. What are those? Biotic or living components and abiotic or non-living components. Okay? The components of an ecosystem are biotic or living components and abiotic or non-living components. Biotic, now let us know about biotic or living components. All living organisms like microorganisms, plants and animals are called as biotic components. All the living organisms which are present on the earth like plants, animals, microorganisms, they are considered to be biotic components. They influence the life of other organisms directly or indirectly. What I told you, they influence on the life of other organisms directly or indirectly. We can also say that biotic components means the living organism of an ecosystem, and on the basis of relations they can be put under the following categories like producers, decomposers and consumers. Okay, what I told you, on the basis of how the living organisms get their food, they are classified further into three categories. What are those? Those are producers, consumers and decomposers. Okay? When we talk about producers, who are the producers? Organisms that make their own food are called as producers. They are autotrophs. Those organisms who can manufacture, who can make their own food are called as producers. They are autotrophs. Example, green plants are producers. Okay? All categories except producers are said to be heterotrophs. What I told you? I told you that most of the green plants, they prepare their own food by using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. This process is called as photosynthesis and these are called as autotrophs. They are the source of food for organisms, as well as they include all green plants, photosynthetic bacteria and photosynthetic protozoans. Okay, this was about producers. Who are producers? organisms that can make their own food are called as producers. They are autotrophs. Example is plants. Okay. Now let us talk about consumers. Okay. Who are the consumers? Organisms that cannot make their own food but depend directly or indirectly on food prepared by green plants are called as consumers. Who are consumers? Organisms who cannot prepare their own food but they depend directly or indirectly on the producers like green plants are called as consumers. Okay, they are also called as heterotrophs as their food requirements are met by the feeding on other organisms. They are also called as phagotrophs. Phago means to eat. What the phago means? To eat. To obtain energy from producers directly or indirectly. And they are mostly animals. What are they? They are mostly animals. They are called consumers because they take their food by consuming plants or other animals. Depending on the food they eat, the consumers are put in the various categories such as herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. It depends on what type of category the food they take in. If they take in plants, they are called as herbivores, and if they take meat, flesh and all, they are called as carnivores, and who eat both, they are called as omnivores. What are herbivores? They feed directly on plants or autotrophs. They are also called as primary consumers. What are they called? They are also called as primary consumers. So what I told you, that organisms that cannot make their own food but they are dependent directly or indirectly on the food prepared by green plants are called as consumers. All animals are consumers, and further the consumers are divided into three categories like primary consumers, secondary consumers and tertiary consumers. So what I told you, that all animals are consumers, and consumers are further divided into, these consumers are further divided into three categories. What are those? Primary consumers, secondary consumers and tertiary consumers. Okay. Now what are primary consumers? Primary consumers are also called as herbivores. Animals that eat only green plants or plant products are called as herbivores. Those animals who eat only green plants or plant products are called as herbivores. Example, cow, horses, goat, rabbits and grasshoppers. Okay. Now let us come to secondary consumers or carnivores. Animals that eat only flesh of other animals are called as carnivores. Those animals who only eat flesh of other animals are called as carnivores. Examples are cow, horses, goat, rabbit, grasshopper. Okay, and those organisms that feed on plants as well as animals, they are called as omnivores or tertiary consumers. For example, human beings, cockroaches, foxes, etc. Okay. Now let us know about scavengers and decomposers also. Who are scavengers? Scavengers are animals that eat the dead animals. Who are scavengers? Scavengers are those animals who eat dead animals. Example, vultures and hyenas. And what about decomposers? Decomposers are microorganisms that decompose dead remains of plants and animals and get their food are called as decomposers. Microorganisms that decompose dead remains of plants and animals to get their food are called as decomposers. Examples are bacteria and fungi. These microorganisms secrete digestive enzymes externally on the dead organisms and get their food. What I told you about decomposers? Decomposers are microorganisms that decomposes dead remains of plants and animals to get their food. Okay? Example, bacteria and fungi. These microorganisms secrete on the dead organisms and get their food. Okay? So this was all about producers, consumers, decomposers, scavengers and decomposers. Okay? Okay students, so now it is clear to you. Now in our next class we will study about abiotic components. Till now I told you about biotic components. Those are living components, and now in the next class we will study about abiotic components. Thank you.